up? Wait a minute, man, what you tripping for? You really want to throw down over something so stupid? All right, I like to fight. Let's do this. Have you seen this person before? People who fight, whose primary language is profanity. You might have known us in high school as the loners, the stoners, and the dropouts. Perhaps we're the neighbor's troubled teen with the cops always at the door. Maybe it is your child, or maybe it was you. That was me. I came from an Irish drinking town and grew up my whole life fighting where you cussed and spit and smoked and drank, and you either got beat up or you learned to fight back. I also grew up a poor kid. My mom worked hard, refused government aid, and successfully raised 4 children by herself. I don't recall anything relatively bad happening to me as a child, yet I used to rip my hair out in chunks and scream instead of cry. Whatever was going on, I didn't know how to communicate. My first fight was in kindergarten. 3rd graders were bullying my sister, so I stood up for her. I got jumped and they smashed my face in the concrete. This became a regular occurrence, though the longest I had lived somewhere was 3 years. I was always the new kid that everybody made fun of. I hated being home, and school should have been a safe place, but it wasn't safe at all. Really, it was me against the world. Please don't misunderstand me. I've never wanted to hurt anyone. People just seemed determined to hurt me. It appeared as though the world was out to get me. Trouble knew my name and where to find me. To make it worse, nobody was listening. Nobody cared. I saw every adult as a threat, and I was ever ready for the fight. Ironically, when I lost the will to fight is when my whole world collapsed. I tried to pretend that nothing was wrong for a long time, even after I woke up in jail for the first time. My children were my only joy, and I didn't have that anymore. And the people who were supposed to be helping me were condemning me to hell, even though they didn't know what had happened. Seems like everyone had an opinion, though, so I spent most of my time locked down in segregation. So much so, in fact, that the other inmates began to call me Lockdown. I was better off alone, and you couldn't tell me nothing. But I was alone, and I was drowning. Finally, I just gave up. I failed again, and this time found myself headed to prison. After I finished with court, I no longer cared about the consequences. 10 years, 2 felonies, nobody was gonna hire me. I would never be accepted into any community. So I reverted to my old ways to keep from losing myself as I fell deeper into the pit. Why are you gonna lie about me, man? You don't even know me. What are you gonna do about it? Well, I'm gonna beat you up. You ain't gonna do nothing. I started fighting again, and after a few more fights, I was assaulted with a bar of soap and a sock. My face became unrecognizable and looked like rotten mashed potatoes. I was locked down in segregation again for refusing to cooperate with the cops. The consequences just weren't getting through to me. I was still ready for the fight, anytime, anywhere. Unfortunately, so are a lot of people. In 2010, this women's prison rated as having the most violent infractions, even amongst the 15 male institutions in the state of Washington. Something needed to happen. And then it did. I noticed a flyer for a 2-day event called Peace Talks. It's hosted by the AVP, or the Alternative to Violence Project, and offered by Washington CorrectionsCenterforWomen. It held 20 inmates, 2 inmate facilitators, and 3 volunteers packed into a little 9-by-20 room. When I walked in, I was immediately apprehensive. There were at least 3 people whom I'd had problems with before, and 1 who I'd almost fought. I expected the weekend to end in disaster, and I averted my eyes a lot because I was certain that if I made eye contact, there'd be a confrontation. Here's the thing, though. The program was consistently safe. The main facilitator advocated for each opinion. Every voice mattered, and how and why we really felt about each activity was honestly considered. We learned about appropriate relationships, healthy communication, and conflict resolution in safe, enjoyable ways. Turns out, We all had a lot more in common than we'd thought possible. The truth was, we all hurt. We'd been wearing this bad to the bone facade. I thought I liked to fight. That was how I kept safe. Really though, I love to help people and I enjoy making them laugh. I hate to see people cry and it hurts me to see pain in someone's eyes. Violence is never the answer. Neither is prejudgment. To judge someone before one knows them makes the other person feel inferior, unworthy of compassion, incapable of change, and more likely to commit a crime. Peace Talks accepted our position as inmates and acknowledged the hurt from our past. It taught us about how to find common ground, to accept others, and to work through our differences. Yeah, man, these were people I could be friends with. In passing, most of us even smile and say hello now. So the next time that you see someone who has or is a problem, please don't reject them. Now is the time that we need you the most. Behind our tough masks, we're fighting for our lives, and you won't reach us if you don't prove you care. Peace does talk in violence prevention programs. I honestly believe that this, among many other programs, really helped me to turn my life around. My name is Ashley, and I no longer cuss or fight. But I wonder, where were these programs pre-incarceration? It brings to mind the little symbol on a battery pack that says, "Don't trash," but where are the recycling centers? Where are these programs in our schools, our homes, our communities? We need our families, our teachers, our leaders, our government to raise awareness and availability to these programs in our communities where they are lacking. If we could teach this level of acceptance to our children, we could end bullying. If we could reach our teenagers, we could potentially end teen suicide. We can reform our prisoners with this level of compassion, and I truly believe that if we make these programs more available to our communities, that person to person, we could change the world.